In a quiet corner of the city, on the coldest night of winter, a small soul waited. He didn't know where he was, or why he'd been left. Only that the box was wet, the wind was sharp, and no one was coming. He wandered toward light, not to be seen, but just to feel its warmth again. But the window stayed closed, and he stayed in the cold. That night, he didn't cry. He was too tired, too cold, too small. And while the world kept spinning, he simply waited for morning. Some nights, the smallest miracles went unnoticed. A sandwich left alone, a candle that burned on, even when the wind creaked through the cracks, and a little dog still breathing, because hope had not yet left. Morning didn't bring all the answers, but it brought a different kind of quiet, one that didn't hurt so much. And sometimes that was enough to keep going. He paused at an old fountain now, nothing but frozen tears. Every icicle was a memory of warmth he once knew, but he dared not remember too deeply. In the darkest corners, faint embers live on. He found warmth where most saw ruin, and for a moment he believed he might survive. He crossed frozen waters on a single plank of hope. Every step a test of faith, every breath a prayer not spoken. At the church's doorstep, he found an open door, a promise of shelter in a world so cold. He had nowhere else to go. He rested in silence, listening to echoes of ancient songs, and felt, perhaps for the first time, that he was not alone. He left the sanctuary behind, each step echoing in the silent stones, released from cold, yet still searching. In his pause, he found an old story, words of comfort written long ago, as if someone knew his heart. He read of kindness and promise, of a presence unseen yet faithful, and felt a warmth deeper than any hearth. Outside, the heavens opened in silent grace. No thunder, no trumpet, just gentle snow that wrapped him in mercy. In that hush of falling snow, he realized he was never truly alone, that someone had walked beside him all along. As dawn broke, he crossed a bridge of frost, each step a quiet promise that warmth would come. In the heart of an empty bakery, he discovered a loaf left for the hungry, a silent act of love meant for someone just like him. He held that bread like a lifeline, a gift from hands he never saw, but whose kindness he could feel. Compassion returned in kind. He broke the bread and found that sharing made him whole. With bread in paw and hope in heart, he pressed onward, knowing that every act of kindness led him closer to where he belonged. In a village he didn't know, he found a picture drawn by small hands, a sketch that looked like him, and someone who walked beside. Some messages don't come in words, just lines and colors and quiet truth. That says, you are seen. He didn't know what to say, but he sat in silence anyway, because sometimes sitting is enough. He had walked through frost, silence, hunger, and yet here he stood, not broken, but still full of wonder. And as the stars opened like a door, he realized he had never walked alone, not through the cold, not through the dark, not even once. He followed the light, not out of fear, but with the peace of one who finally understands that every step had been watched and every fall caught. There, on the path between stars and sky, he felt it, the quiet presence that had never left him, now revealed. They found him in the morning, still quiet, but smiling, like one who had finally come home. They didn't know his name, but they knew his story, and in their silence, they said goodbye, with more love than he ever expected. And somewhere beyond the sky, he ran whole, joyful, and free, into the arms that had always been waiting. When no one else walked with him, God did.